G'day, Dan checking in, and I wanted to focus on providing some value, some clarity, just with something that's just popped up. In the past, some of my content, because I've been involved with a lot of different things, has confused people and they haven't understood what value is on offer for myself and within Imagine Land and the various programs, what they're about. But really, so I touched on one of those videos about marketing and building community. So I wanted to focus on those two subjects, particularly with the marketing side of things. Shut my window. So when it comes to marketing, you know, it's a bit of a bad juju word. People don't like being sold to. Yet people don't like, you know, putting their emails in. Even my father, you know, said, you know, some of these free YouTube videos and going into, you know, click here to sign up or gain access to, and he does, you know, he despises it. So many others do as well, I suppose. But, you know, if you're not prepared to provide your email to get the extra value from something that you're enjoying and getting value from YouTube, then just keep on with the free YouTube content. That's cool. But for those that, you know, really are resonating and getting value from free content, don't you think you're going to get even more value by giving something? It's just an email. And when it comes to paying, if you're getting this value from free YouTube content, for example, and then there's very good free content in what you've given an email for example, behind a member access, then what are you going to get when you pay? So we'll touch a little bit. I'm going to do a separate video on the Story Festival and how that connects to the community stuff. I'll focus this one as much as I can on marketing, or I like to call it just more so a journey of value. That's what it really is. And I learned a lot from Russell Brunson and the Mastermind course and a variety of different courses. Sam Ovens, Alex Hormozi. Various Grant Cardone, a little bit, not so much him, but you know, I've done all their courses, spoken to them directly, or a couple of those, I should be clear. But long story short, what I've identified and what's proven is two various ways in, and that is, and also that the informational knowledge business, which can be online and what's called evergreen content, which means once you produce it and record it, you upload it and it's there for people to view without you having to spend your time with them and explain these repetitive things and continue to provide that value. So regardless of what you have, whether it's an existing business or an idea for a business. Fire, sorry. Fire. I thought the house was on fire. Oh my God, I might have to call 000. Hang on. Is this universe trying to distract me? Or someone's... I'm just gonna check. Yeah, so There was a bit of, I just got told to nick off, with the F word. I think he's panicking or whatnot. Yeah, it was on fire though. So things you caught when you're trying to be a good citizen. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, so with the proven sort of methods in the information business, like regardless of what you're doing, even if you haven't started an idea, like ultimately that information or that journey that you take people along allows you to build community. If you have a community of people, and another thing with the marketing is really honing in on who you actually want to be serving and helping based on your past experiences and passions and skills. And you might think, oh, my passions and purpose and skills, like they're not monetizable or whatnot, or I don't have that project idea. But that community, when you ask them and you've honed in on that, you can build a solution or a product around that community. So, and with the information and evergreen sort of the automated process on the front end of things, you can, and this is where I really liked Russell Brunson, because his videos really popped out to me at a time where a venture capital firm helped bugger up my investment company. And he was talking about how you don't need venture capital, you can build community, you can build a product from scratch. If you look at his two books, Expert Secrets or .com Secrets, talks about a thing called the break-even sales funnel, which means if you spend $1,000 on Monday or on ads, on any ads, you get that back on the upfront. You're breaking even on those, so all of your further sales or business that you do with that particular niche client that you're serving, it's 100% profit, but at the same time you're building community. You're building email lists and you're building a community for free. So, and that's worth, the statistics and numbers are not coming to me off the top of my head, but that's valuable. So, ultimately, with the identification of who you're going to serve, and then with a process which we take you through with the mindset phase of getting really clear with the end in mind. Another few things that, like Jim Rohn, I think, mentioned it, and other mindset things that I've done with, and even Tony Robbins, having that certainty with the end path, your end of journey. What's really going to be is giving you satisfaction on your deathbed. Bit of a morbid thought, but it's a question to really ask yourself and address those shadows. If you're not feeling like life is giving you that satisfaction, you might be off path. You'll know that if that's the case. So some of these processes, and typically with that marketing, if you want to call it that, is identifying who's that niche audience, who's those people that it won't feel like it's work for you. It will feel like just an enjoyable thing and process for you to be waking up, checking your community, responding to messages, helping them, answering questions. So basically within the Future You framework, and a lot of I call it a wireframe, and it's I've talked in the past with friends and colleagues, it's like it's templatized. It's a thing where you won't have to bring all this need for the marketing knowledge, skills, amount of thousands, hundreds of thousands, I've said now, invested into different programs and tools, software tools, using it, like all the CRMs, all the things that you've typically, these software and technologies, you've had to duct tape together as well, and only use a fraction. You might only need to use 10-15% of its features, and then connect it to another tool, which you do the same thing, and you might have one you're using 50% of its features, the other 50 you don't use. In the end, you've got all this wasted money. and inefficiencies and things break. And the other problem's been these agencies or, so-called experts that will charge you a very good amount of money depending on what they're doing for you, because it's not just that. You've got then content creation, the website to be built, all these expenses that start to create a barrier of entry for people to get in and to start that, to then not get disheartened with all this stress and things that's probably come along that way. Or maybe they've engaged with someone, paid them $5,000 a month, and they promised the world and give them an atlas, meaning nothing, didn't get them results. And typically, you've had, typically if you've done that, you're at a point where you're doing paid ads. So you've got Facebook or YouTube, Google ads that, you're having to pay a budget to reach that target audience you've identified at the start. And sometimes a lot of people skip past that as well. Or if they don't skip past it, they don't spend enough time on it, or they know that one, like I've made the mistake where trying to help too many people and not really niching down. Riches are in the niches. So it doesn't mean you have to stay in that niche, but at the start you really get that honed in to be expanded upon. And I've been very cautious of myself of building a framework where people's stories and that backstory, skills and knowledge and passions, there's a universal model, and the front end of things is going to be something that can plug into their story and their niche. With all that automation, with email follow-ups or text and automated maybe AI calls these days and stuff like that, and the reminders for progressing through the first phase of that program so they actually get value from what you offer. And I skip past it, but yeah, the proven methods, and I'll come back to the organic marketing in a second, as opposed to paid ads where you can get going without money with other people's audiences, and by providing that value, there's ways to do that. But when you yourself, and with the stuff that we can provide, but you yourself say you've got a process that you're going to take people through to get that particular desired result. You need to, there's got to be results or a specific end result that you're offering to that niche person. Usually the reverse engineer of what you've achieved for your heartaches and things you've done, etc. Or even you going along a journey where it's not all done. I mean, some people will look at me and go, well, who's this guy, Dan, giving advice with his teeth missing? He's saying to make money and do all this marketing. Well, look, I'll call that elephant in the room. There's reasons why I've sacrificed certain comforts and security to do a lot to help the world. And probably could have done things a bit different, but look, we live and we learn. And my abundances, I know, for the work done are coming. They're here. They're manifesting. And that's the imagination, that what's happened. And then when you've got that certainty, which the process I went through these uncertain times and things that may occur, you can get through those difficult times. But yeah, it's always been a passion of mine to go through this, or not a passion of mine to go through this process to make it easier for others. But I endured that process knowing that end result would be easier for others, easier for other families, for parents, a parent to be able to have this new opportunity, or a kid, teenager to, even though they're a bit more savvy, to just condense that time that it's going to take, that heartache, into a solution, a result where they can build a community, they can get a foundational income that's automated and support their life pathways and self-educate into having success and having the opportunity to be ambitious and go to that next phase to help their local communities, individual, family, community. The whole world ends up getting fixed in different areas based on that progress that starts to occur. So anyway, baby steps, we get there. So where was I? When you go to that, going back to the outline of a result, there's going to be phases and steps to that. Typically the best, and starts with mindset at the start of all that. It's going to explain what the program is, or what are those phases and steps. It's going to explain the journey that they go through with other tools and whatnot that are available for you, that are proven again to help them get clarity, that help them to, what not to do. It's going to be causing them headaches and whatnot because of the things you've learnt and etc. So once you're really solid on that blueprint for your own, let's just call it program, an agenda, could be a workshop as well. And these are going to be things that are congruent. Once you got your niche and you got that, then your marketing material and other things can start to be really congruent and consistent. That's the other thing. So basically, you're going to be able to offer them a free assessment of, which could be, quizzes, questions that you'll ask, which will help them identify, what result they're going to get once they do that assessment, the areas they might have been needing value and etc. So there's a free assessment or a free first phase, the mindset phase, with various tools that they're the two most proven methods for you to get people into your funnels or into that journey through your exposure, where you're going to go and find where they're congregating online, or you're going to do paid Facebook ads and put in, their target audience details to reach them with that content. And those are the two sort of things that you'll focus on talking about. And you won't do two at once. But the good thing is, when you have a member sort of type area program, if they do the assessment, they're going to end up in the free mindset phase, the free first phase. Or if they do the free first mindset phase, they're going to end up seeing a little tab there to go, oh, here, do you want to do this assessment as well? They get that as well. It's part of the value and a bonus. But the ads will speak that you do, or the organic, the content that you do will speak directly to that specific audience. Not everyone, and the result that you're going to give them, what they can expect going through that program, and getting access to the free first mindset phase and how that will flow on to other things when they decide they've got value from that, and then they now want to pay a bit of money. And I'll come back to that now as well with the value ladder, with the break even, because that little bit of money that they're paying after getting free access, seeing all this free content, some of them might hang around for a month, 7 months, 6 months, whatever, just looking at the content that you're creating. I'll pull over here. And then decide to sign up. Some of them might stay signed up and free access or whatnot, a free assessment, and buy something immediately. They're that way inclined. That's the way they like to act. Impulsive. Some of them more analytical, etc. So it's a numbers game at the end of the day. So, and that's cool. People make decisions in different ways. But ultimately, through those two offers that you create, or have them, enter your world, your community, and what you're offering to give value, typically there's going to be, if you've got that foundational thing right with your program, and even if you're selling e-commerce or ebooks, there's those lead magnets you can offer as well as bonuses in conjunction with this. But those two things are mentioned, and I learned that with Alex Hormozi, that really locked that in. I've seen it before with Sam Ovens, who ended up partnering. And these guys are very good as well. If you don't trust myself, you don't like me, I think Alex Hormozi at school.com, which is with Sam Ovens. It's very good. And I might even have an affiliate thing in there for that if you want to go there. I've got a program and platform that's coming together that's somewhat in competition to that, but they're good. Kajabi you can go and do, which is where our sites are. So at the end of the day, it's a scenario where the low ticket, sort of the lower priced offer that you'll have is likely to be something like a blueprint. And I give credit to another gentleman who had an agency, offered help people to become their own agency, gave me some epiphanies in a different light. But Blake Newber, these guys have made millions and millions of dollars online, each one of them. So the blueprint, a $7 blueprint, which outlines the framework of your own individual program. It gives them value. They can go through a PDF-based version of the tools, and they have like a printout, basically. But they're missing certain tools. They're missing your videos. They're missing certain other value adds. But it's still valuable. And the main thing is their credit card gets into a system. You might have something there for $1. The credit card is leased in the system. Because once they do that, those hyperactive buyers, when they've signed up for that blueprint, you'll see on ours, you can go, no, yep, there's an offer on the next page for that, from the free to the $7, say, welcome, you've signed up for, blah, 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 email's coming, but there is a $7 blueprint you can buy right now, and or you can click no and go to your members area, etc., and give those people the chance that want to buy, that's seen value in before, to go and do that. And the ones that have responded to a paid ad that's cost you money, same thing. Because on a lot of what we do, the next stage is the foundations. Like the second phase of that program, or the, like in business, for example, the foundation side of things for us, for a lot of the tech and innovation, has been cleaning up house. What are all those subscriptions and stuff that you've been wasting on money? Stop wasting that money. What's some other foundational things that gets them ready for going to the third phase, which is really starting to implement change? But cleaning up house, the mindset stuff's been done in that first phase. Then foundation, all the foundational things that happen after learning these things in the mindset phase that they have to start taking action and implementing on. If that makes sense. So, and if there's any questions or any, things that you're getting value from this, the old sell now, like and subscribe, and but yeah, any value-based things, that's what these videos are about. I'm well aware that, and don't be afraid yourself to be doing a lot of value, giving away a lot of what you're doing, because, that human connections and, in our community as well, like, it's a reciprocal type thing as well. So, but yeah, any questions that you have, anything that you want a bit more context on, just, comment and question, or, appreciate the thanks as well for any comments. So, the foundations, for example, might be in a bracket of, $20 to $100. There might be a consult call, or a call that they can have with you for 45 minutes, which is around the same price bracket, or a combination of offers that ultimately help you to, like I said before, spend that, say, $500 or $1,000 on marketing. There's going to be X amount of people that click and respond, X amount of people that land on the page, X amount of people that fill it out, the free access, and X amount of people that, say, yes, I want the blueprint, and X amount of people say, yes, I want the foundations after that page and the bonus, and then there might be another page, which typically you can do this as well. There'll be a small percentage of people that will go and buy the full program at the end, and all these have videos and whatnot along that journey to explain, but you're making what's called irresistible offers. On that third page, for people to buy a full program, anywhere from $500 to $2,000 without you talking to them. Not so much $2,000 without a sort of a well-structured masterclass and webinar that some of you may not have heard. Some of you may that see this, if you're in the marketing space, but the perfect webinar that Russell Brunson born, and it's been various iterations, and that Dan Henry, without the D in his name, similar name to myself, but he, done very well, and, literally without speaking to any of these people, they're able to be produced, all the values, all their questions answered, all their objections and whatnot, through a online 45-minute hour, masterclass, which covers everything, gives that value. But on that particular one I'm talking about, in the initial sort of journey, say a $500 to $1,000, but they don't have to have the credit card charge for that up front. They can get in and start doing what they originally paid for, them or got for free, the mindset and the foundations, because they're not going to rush through a full program. If they can rush through a full program, it's really not going to be worth a lot. You're charging $50 or $90 for it anyway, so don't be scared of that. If you are scared of that, you probably need to do more work on the structure and what you're providing. Otherwise, you know, again, just remember they're resonating with you, and it's going to be about that connection with you as well. So anyway, so don't forget the value ladder. With those offers, we can help you with that. That's part of the foundational stuff. And when you're building community, the foundations with us is that. Or the third phase goes a little bit more deeper into some of the sort of marketing and whatnot. But there's universal ways and things here. And don't think if you've got an existing business that this isn't required either, because with the way things are going with technology and this innovation, it's not just AI. People are all on AI. I've seen the trends, the NFTs. I've got plenty of proof of being early in all of these things and not got sucked into the hype, and seen many so-called experts and all these people getting on the gravy train. But there's a whole convergence of things. There's various things to consider, but ultimately community and having the right people around you is going to allow you to adapt and then work with different domain experts and adjust, even if you change your mind, or there might be a slight pivot into doing something bigger, and there's ways to do that as well. So yeah, it's sort of extending into a longer video, but I hope it's valuable here for a lot of people. There was fire, literally. Ultimately, to sum up and just think back to anything I may have missed. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Like I'll watch this back myself and sound out any comments and whatnot. And there's material, like I say, that's already in our program schedules and whatnot. But yeah, like I said, I really wanted to hone in and explain to some people that maybe, not 100% sure. Definitely marketing and these funnels, and don't be worried about overselling. There's a way to do it authentically. It's in your videos, it's in your content, and identifying that people that you're going to help and actually providing that value, helping, doing videos like this for free. Hopefully, I might not even talk to any of you watching this. And that's cool. I hope you have all the success that you deserve, and I've mentioned a few other people you can go and work with that are more established than me. That's cool. But I've got tons more knowledge in areas and contacts in other areas than them, and joint movement and community that this connects to with next stages of roadmap, which links back to my story. So that's me, and I'm me, and you're you, and that's them. And as soon as this is all done anyway, I'll be not sitting in this car, I'll be playing some music. Had a really cool, after meditating this morning, met this dude, so you'll probably see us. It was cool. It was good. I nearly started singing with the guitar too, which I'm working on, getting that rhythm together. Posted the song yesterday, so there, if you're not sure why you see that, I've always felt an inclination that whatever I do, it's going to be combined with music. And I've had a partner in the music, a business partner in the music industry, and sort of fell off a little bit. Do I go into it? But yeah, some of those music are going to be in the modules as well with this. It's not all to be rigid and whatnot. It's time, to have a bit of fun with this. So, and like I said, compared to others that are out there, you can get involved, as a leader in your community. That's what I'm really passionate about, creating more and more leaders. And, in the family dynamic, just to touch on that, and education, those communities will definitely help your children to self-educate, to reach out, have confidence to do things I've done. Individual interviews along my pathway, you'll see more and more of those as well, I'll do. And group interviews with, say if it's in a certain area of gaming and they're interested in coding, no reason why they can't reach out to a coding company, top coding company. Can I interview one of your top level coders, Don't be afraid to ask, they'll help. And so that's one little thing that I've skipped over when it comes to the organic, not the paid. And I learned this from Russell Brunson and his book called Expert Secrets. It's a really good book they've got, and it's worth buying that pack. I don't know how much it is these days for those and traffic secrets. But .com Expert Secrets talks about, your storytelling and whatnot. So I'll probably go into a little bit more of that with the Story Festival video I'm going to do, about how your backstories and your current story and your future story connects to your imagination, manifestation, and all this, the marketing community and the programs within Future You. And yeah, we'll continue to call out, the people that have helped me learn along my journey, the investments I've made. So then you can see, yeah, ultimately I've made those investments. Looks might be deceiving, but don't judge a book by its cover. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Enjoy your rest of your day or night. Or if you're sleeping right now, enjoy your dreams, and I'll see you when you wake up. And yes, look forward to hearing your comments and talking to you, hopefully some of you in person and direct. You've got the website in our descriptions or in the YouTube channel link, so feel free to sign up for that free members area and take the assessment yourself, and yeah, watch the masterclass if you want some in-depth help, paying our services and our team for doing, there's still some clicking in certain things at this stage you'll have to do, but if you want that done for you, we're in a position where we can take on a couple of clients and do that. So all right, I'm going to go now, and see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.